lot of people also neglect how strong shamans are now with the new grounding totem and like, you know, hex and things like that. Shamans are really popular right now, especially on like the SK100, and they're going to get only stronger after the patch changes.
Yeah, they've been mentioning that they're going to be improving shamans a lot.
What about Shadow Priests? Are they going to get some love? We just talked about the dispersion change.
It's hard to say. I think that they're going to give them some changes, but I don't think they're going to do like a drastic overhaul because the priests already have like 2 viable trees, and I think they want to improve Holy as well for PvP. So
yeah, they said about
it's hard to say, but I think they'll be viable again. But whether they're going to be like as strong as they were in Season 3 and Season 4, it's hard to tell right now.
All right, what's your opinion? 3.09 got thrown at us the other day. What's your opinion on that then? Because it's obviously all about mages and rogues. Is it good?
Oh, well, they actually did an additional nerf. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, Arcane Barrage.
Arcane Barrage.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a hidden nerf on that.
Yeah, it was like a hidden nerf, wasn't it?
I think they wanted to nerf their burst potential without nerfing their overall damage. And I think that's like a good design overall. Whether they did it too much, it's hard to say because it's only been out for like a day. But like, I think the changes were fair. Like the mutilate rogues, they got nerfed only if you were mutilate prep. But if you go like Hunger for Blood for like PvE, then you got like even a slight buff out of all the changes. So it's kind of interesting what they're doing. Like they're increasing their sustained damage but decreasing the burst, and I think it's better for the game overall. But there are certain things like survival hunters that still need to be toned down with their burst.
Okay, so that's 3.09, and obviously 3.1 is yet to be all confirmed. But is there anything in there that you particularly like or dislike?
In 3.1, I think that so far they've only announced the good things, and like right now it's like, oh, like they're buffing paladins and like they're buffing death knights, and where are the nerfs, you know? But they haven't really released any of the nerfs. So I think that like, you know, once everyone sees all the changes and like all the ways the talent trees move, like for example, I know for death knights, the spec that I use, and it's becoming really popular right now, is an Unholy Frost spec that I call the Shadow Frost spec. And they're actually going to break that spec, I believe, by moving Killing Machine deeper in the Frost tree. So it's just things like that that people don't really know about yet that they need to, you know, they need to see the final results of before they can actually cry about the changes.
All right.
Yeah. I used to play a hell of a lot of WoW, Serennia, and sometimes I used to dream about the game. You play a lot. Have the borders between fantasy and reality ever become blurred?
I can't say that I've never dreamt about it. It's not too good, but like I usually, you know, keep a good distinction between game and like you know real life. So like you know, don't try to let like if I you know blurred those lines, then all those people that would always you know flame or fan me or whatever, it would get to me or whatever. But it's no big deal. Like I shrug it off most of the time.
And we've asked you a lot of questions. Questions are more powerful than answers. Have you got any questions for us?
Well, I'm kind of curious why 2GD chose the realms that he did. Like he told me he was re-rolling on American servers, but he like chose the most random server.
Oh no, okay, all right. What it was, I convinced someone to play the game, a girl, right? And she said, "I've got to play with my all-girl gaming team." And the girl gaming team is PMS clan, and there's a guild with 400 women in it. So I'm like a king to them, Serennia.
What server is it on?
It was on Skilla, but they've moved to Darrowmere, and I'm on that server. But if it doesn't work out, I'm going to come to your server, and I'm going to replace SCK with my awesome paladin skills on 500 milliseconds. I'll definitely have you dispelled, buddy. Okay, I want to ask you just a couple more about the global finals that you've qualified for. More of your concerns and what you're expecting to get out of it. First of all, what kind of finishing place do you think you're going to make at the global finals?
Well, I think we're definitely capable of winning the entire thing. We obviously need to practice some more because the team is still relatively new. We still need to get used to each other's play styles and everything. But I think that, you know, we're all confident that even if our comp can be countered by other, you know, counter comps that people aren't too experienced with, I think that our skill as a team and individually on our classes can win out. And I think that, you know, we're all pretty comfortable with our setup so far, and we can definitely win it if we, you know, don't make too many mistakes there, and if we get enough practice in before then.
Okay, I'm also curious as well, who leads your team? Because You were the strat caller. I know Reels is a big kind of a player when it comes to it. I'm not too sure about SCK, but you've kind of, I mean, is there a leader in your team now, or does everyone just throw information?
In the past, like, I've been the quote-unquote most vocal leader, if you want to say it like that.
Yeah.
But, like, with these guys, they're really vocal. Like, SCK has to be the most vocal healer ever played with. He's always, like, you know, calling out where he's going, where he wants you to go, and, you know, like, what he's doing at any given time. And Reels was the most vocal person on Trade Chat All-Stars, you know, the team that broke up. And, you know, just combined, like, you know, I think we're all, you know, equal in terms of, like, leadership, and we're all, like, you know, we all have important roles, so I don't really see any of us as, like, the leader, so to speak, but, like, we're all definitely, you know, voicing our opinions. And
so are they as vocal as Swarm?
Oh, in, like, terms of, like, competitiveness, yeah.
All right.
No.
So there's never really been a power struggle, because you're renowned for being someone very vocal, someone who can't stand losing. Often that's what it takes to be the best, but I know a lot of people have been frustrated playing with you at times, and there's been numerous dropouts and stuff. There's never been a power struggle?
I'm really cool with our new teammates. Like, they both understand that, like, you know, we're all here to play to win, and they're extremely good on their classes. Otherwise, you know, I wouldn't have, you know, asked SK to make that new team with us and everything. I'm like, you know, I respect them both a huge amount. Like, Sick, I've obviously thought was one of the best even, you know, years ago, and I've actually looked forward to be playing with him for a while now. And Reels, he's been, you know, he's proven himself already on many situations that he can do extremely well on a high level. So I respect them both, and, you know, I know that they're always doing their best.
Okay. I wanted to keep on about the global finals. Any teams that you're particularly concerned about?
There are some wildcard teams that we don't know too much about. I think, like, Existence is always a concern on people's minds because they can run
everything now.
Like Falcon, Solar, and Tyler, they're so amazing at multi-classing, and they can really pull a comp that you would never expect out, and they could, you know, easily counter comp you, even though they're not, like, the best on those classes. They can play a lot at a really high level. There's also Hill and Plasma. That's always a good contender. I know they can't bring one of their healer.
Yeah, Forte was a German paladin who was really, really good, and they've been playing with him, and it's been fantastic. And now he apparently can't make the final, so they're looking to replace him. I think they've actually found somebody potentially. We're going to talk about that later, but the only information I could find about him was he did movies when he was level 60. So that was it.
Well, they're both definitely huge question marks, and they can both definitely also win the tournament. So we basically just have to practice more and be prepared for anything that people can throw at us.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about everything. Wow. And before we let you go, any shout-outs?
Just a shout-out to SK Gaming. You know, they've been a wonderful sponsor, the best. And to Drama on Corgaster, my guild, and that's about it. Thanks for having me.
All right, well, yeah, thank you for coming on the show, and we look forward to seeing you at the global finals, and good luck with all the practice, and good luck at the finals.
Thanks a lot.
See you, man.
Serennia.
Seemed quite calm, quite collected. I was impressed.
Well, did you not see the Swarm video? He was very calm and collected. It was Swarm that wasn't.
I did, but he's really renowned for having quite a big ego. At least on Game Riot. Whether or not there's any truth in that.
I think he holds himself very high, but I think that he's done a lot of amazing stuff, so I think he can, in a way. And I hold myself high, you know? I think I
know you do. I know you do.
I'm the best warrior in the world. That's why Serennia moved over to DK, because he knew we couldn't have the best warrior in the world slot. That's why Zom is playing Rogue. Not Zom's playing Rogue. That's why Papercat's playing Rogue now, because I am the best warrior.
Really?
They just knew it. And now I've made Paladin. Ooh, what's a fiend going to do?
Well, confidence can sometimes, overconfidence, Jay, can sometimes get you a little bit unstuck. Especially when you underestimate your enemies.
Matt, if you were my enemy, I'd never underestimate you.
No?
No.